really hurt us. We've been doing a good job at the beginning of the game for a while now, and obviously that was spotting the team the way we did with some breakdowns defensively, and then being late, in a few situations, whether it be a loose ball or a rebound. We weren't quite as urgent as we needed to be, and we found that later in the game, but difficult to overcome that, particularly the first 6 minutes of the game.
Coach, when you guys are trying to take the next step forward in terms of building, good habits, just how do you fight through that mental fatigue of coming off of a back-to-back game as intense as last night's game was?
Well, it was good to have Hunt back. I think anytime, you're down guys, everybody needs to collectively raise their level. And, I said we did that as the game progressed. And I've said it before, it may sound redundant, but, I do believe it, that, your growth isn't linear. We came off, I think, a really good defensive effort against Toronto. And we got it together, as the game went on tonight, and executed in some situations that we were a step slow in the first half. And, it's something that we'll look at. I think our guys feel it right now. And as you said, back-to-backs are part of this game and part of this league, and just something we got to do better. And we have. That's the thing. I think it's something that earlier in the year we didn't always start games well, and then we've had moments in the third quarter, and those are things that we focused on, and there's those stretches for us, and we've got to understand why they're happening. And in this case, I think just some of the execution defensively, and again, I mentioned that some of the loose balls and things like that. And if it doesn't, you got to make sure it bounces your way.
And you've talked about the idea of playing big in the past. It seemed like in the second half that kind of clicked for everyone, and they were attacking the glass a little bit more than they were in the first.
Well, we're not very big,
right?
So
the idea of playing big, though,
yeah, I think it's a luxury at times to have length, but you're not going to have that all the time. And really, no matter what lineup's in there, if we are giving some of that away, which everybody does at certain times, that's where we need to be even more precise. That's why I was saying our margin for error, we can't miss a block out. If the ball bounces, we got to be the first one to it, and try to compensate that way.
In the third quarter, Cavs were 4 of 11 to start, and that's when you guys kind of chipped away a little bit. Did you feel like your defense was tightening a little bit and kind of holding them a little bit in the third?
Yeah, there's subtleties. You might contest a shot, but are you a foot and a half closer, and things like that. That over the course of the game, good teams, these NBA players are going to make shots. It's but there's just a little bit more. If we can find a little bit more in those situations, it'll serve us well.
Bruno gave you a huge shot in the arm as far as his energy tonight. As you're waiting with Jalen, you talk about addressing the length. Do you foresee him possibly being someone that can buy you some time?
Well, we've not having Clint was it was great. Bruno did a great job of stepping into that situation without Clint. There's a lot of guys right now that we're playing, and everybody's got to be ready to go when their name is called, and it was great to see Bruno do that tonight.
Coach, not to make any excuses, we're never going to make excuses, but do you think part of that slow start was just players being in the rotation and getting used to that feel?
Jared Allen's a handful, but there's things that, like I said, there were some breakdowns. If we do have a couple guys out, whether it be Clinton, Jalen, Bogey, DJ, Trey, whoever, everybody's got to be precise with what we're doing. And execution, I think, becomes more and more important, and it's important to us anyway. It's been, something we'll continue to focus on and really continue to work on, whether it's on the game day or it's in practice, and our guys have been good about embracing that. And, sometimes you don't get as much carryover in the game as you want, and, when you're down players or you're on a back-to-back, that's the time that you need to be even more urgent in those situations.
And I just want to piggyback quickly on Bruno, him asking back on December 4th to,
Yeah.
go to the G League to get some more reps, and then him being ready when his number called. What's he shown you the past 2 weeks?
Well, you saw tonight, he competed, and it was good to see. He got tired. That's why he wanted to play in the D League, and it showed tonight at times when because he was playing hard, and just happy to see him do that. And as you said, for him to be really ready to play, and it was good that we were able to get him in there.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.
Thank you.